We're gonna try to determine today whether or not it's a good idea to allow your Khaki Campbell ducks to hatch their ducklings naturally. These two Khaki Campbell duck hens have been sitting on a huge clutch of eggs for several weeks now. The past few weeks have been truly interesting with these Khaki Campbell ducks. They're really showing me something about natural life here on the farm. Hello, geese. Good morning. All around the homesteading world, even on YouTube, the general consensus is that Khaki Campbell duck hens are not the greatest mothers. Dexter, what are you doing in my garden? What are you doing in my garden, buddy? I like when the cats are in the garden because they're helping me keep the chipmunks out. Olive, let's go. Let's go. Come. Come. I've been really working with Olive out in the orchard with the ducks and the geese, trying to train her. It's an ongoing process. She's not perfect, but she is improving. She's doing a great job. She still has a lot of puppy energy, you know, and sometimes she just can't control her excitement and she wants to chase the ducks. The geese want to protect the ducks too, because they think she's a little monster. But the ducks always seem to keep their distance, but if they really start running, Olive wants to chase them. See, she's still going to investigate, but she's not running after them like she used to. But she's still a little bit freaked out by the geese because the geese don't take no guff from no one. They're so tough, those geese. We've been raising ducks for a couple years now. Ducklings was one of the first animals that we got on the farm, so it's been a little over 2 years that we've had Khaki Campbell ducks. They're living their life on the orchard. They're really enjoying it. But there are several observations that I've made that makes me think that they're not great mothers. One of the signs that I've seen that they're not really great mothers is their nesting habits. They don't really make nests all the time, and they're free ranging out on the orchard, and you can see that they just drop an egg anywhere they feel like it. If there was a bird that really wanted to reproduce, they would make a nest and they wouldn't just drop an egg wherever they want. And this isn't the first time I've obviously collected an egg that's just scattered around. It happens quite regularly, and that's one thing that shows me that they're not great mums. Now, one of the ways that you would normally observe that a bird, like a chicken or a duck or a goose, is going broody is that they're actually trying to sit on a clutch of eggs. They don't always want to sit on a clutch of eggs, but when you see them having that kind of behavior, that's a sign that they want to sit on the eggs because they want to hatch out their own kids. Olive, come. Come. Let's go. That's enough. That's enough. Let's go. Let's go. What are you doing? You're just jumping over the fence. You're tearing the fence down. That's how I know that those two hens inside the duck house here are going broody, because they never leave that clutch of eggs. Maybe they get off once in a while to get some food and water, but they're always sitting on that clutch of eggs. But here, I got something else I want to show you. That black leghorn hen has been sitting on that clutch of eggs for weeks now. And I mean, they just lay their scattered eggs in there. Sometimes they use the nesting boxes. That's exactly what it means when they say she's going broody. It means she wants to sit on those eggs. I just came in the duck house, guys, just to check in on things. And there's a couple of ducklings, and I don't know which nest they hatch out of. Woo! The ducks actually hatch their own ducklings! The other one's over here. Why is it just lying there? Ah, are you okay, buddy? You okay, buddy? Oh, something's wrong with his leg. There he is. But that leg down there, it's a little bit like not moving. This leg is okay. Oh no. I think there's one right here too, but it's dead. Oh no. You can see that this is the corpse of a duckling that had passed away, and it's obvious that it's dried out now, but sometimes, you know, you just don't see them, and it must have been inside the duck house here for several days, maybe even weeks, that I haven't noticed it, but you can clearly see that it's a duckling that had just been hatched and it didn't survive. That's what they're talking about with the hatch rate. You know, when you keep them in an incubator and they're growing and they hatch, you're able to somewhat take care of them and keep an eye on them. Khaki Campbells are not the best mothers, and there's been a bunch of ducks sitting on a bunch of different clutches of eggs. And then there's a bunch of eggs there. I mean, there's a couple of eggs there. I don't think anybody's sitting on those. I know there's ducks sitting on those, and I know there's ducks sitting on those because that one duckling hatched. Then, of course, there's those two ducks that are sharing the nest right there, so there must be some eggs under there too. Okay, seeing as how there's already 2 ducklings have died and 1 duckling has a bum leg, there's no way he's going to survive. He won't even be able to walk, that little duckling. I'm going to take that one good duckling and put him in with the chicks and keep them separated. This one good duckling, I'm going to keep him in a separate brooder because I don't actually trust these duck hens that they're not going to squish them because they're still sitting on these clutches of eggs. And this guy's hatched and they're still going to sit on those eggs. This little guy is going to get squished for sure. Oh, that'd be nice. At least inside the brooder here with the chicks, he'll have proper heat and he's not going to get squished by the duck hens. Those 2 hens just left. I don't see any ducklings. That's a lot of eggs. A lot. Hey, little buddy. You still having a hard time? See that poor guy, he can't even walk, his one leg. I can, when I touch it, I can kind of feel that the muscles are moving, but it's not really moving properly that he can walk around. I don't know, he's just lying there. It doesn't look good for that fella. Dexter, don't even think about it. Hey, don't even think about it. Okay? I don't think so. I know, chicken tastes good. So of course I grabbed some of the eggs out of that nest the ducks were sitting on and put them in the incubator, and sure enough, over the next couple days, one of the eggs hatched and we got another healthy duckling out of it. The little guy, he's doing okay. You know, he's so much smaller than the other duck that was hatched by the hens, but he's gonna grow really fast, it's okay. Another duck hatched. He's a little wet, but he hatched. got him! He's a fast little bugger. Meet the duckling. Another reason that they're not great mums is that when they hatch out a duckling, they need to sit on that duckling. And I mean, maybe it's possible that because all of the eggs are not hatching at the same time, so there's some eggs that still need to be sat on and kept warm. So the mother knows this, but while you're doing that, you're squishing the newly hatched duckling. Now, duck eggs typically take between 24 and 28 days to hatch. So really, it's almost a month. So that hen is gonna have to sit on those eggs for almost a month. Now that's dedication. But you gotta remember that I took those first 2 ducklings and put them in here because I took them away from the mother hen so the mother hen won't squish them. Another sign to me that Khaki Campbell duck hens are not great mothers is the fact when I went into the duck house that day and found the one duckling with the bum leg and the one healthy duckling, where was the mother? The mother had already taken off. Well, the mother is supposed to be keeping those little ducklings warm. She's supposed to be protecting the little ducklings, and she took off. Because really, she's more scared of me, probably. Chunky, are you doing okay, buddy? You okay, Chunky? You okay? So there's still a few eggs that are in the incubator. I'm gonna candle them using the candler just to see what stage they're at, or it's possible that they're just died inside the shell. See, there is something in there. You see this big dark area? If I look closely, it's moving. So it's still alive, but I would say that this is still weeks away because it's still fairly young. I'd say this is maybe 2 weeks along. This one here looks like it's just started growing. You see that little black dot right there? You can see some of the veining, and this is probably only about maybe 9 or 10 days being incubated. So this one still needs a lot more time. Here's one that I think has died inside the shell. There's no movement in there. And you can see the air pocket on the bottom there where it's nice and clear. The rest of it is a solid black color, meaning the duckling is taking up all the room inside the shell. But honestly, there's no movement. And I mean, it should have hatched by now. Here's another one. It's got a good darkness in it, meaning the duckling is quite old inside, and I see it moving. I know it's difficult for you guys to see it moving, but it's moving inside. So that tells me still alive, but it probably needs another week. One of the major difficulties of a mother hen trying to hatch out their own ducklings is the humidity level. It's very difficult for the mother to keep the humidity in between 40 and 50%. They should be able to easily keep the egg warm. You know, the egg needs to be at 37.5 degrees Celsius. The problem is that humidity. Artificially, we keep adding water to keep the inside of the incubator humid. But naturally, with the duck hen, it's very difficult. They can't keep adding water. It's just their moisture from their body, and the moisture from the heat. So when I put 14 duck eggs in the incubator, I might get 12 or 13 that hatch. 2 might not make it. Trouble is, with the mother actually sitting on her own eggs trying to raise her own ducklings, out of 25 eggs, we had 4 ducklings hatch, and 3 of them were dead right away. They hatched, but they were dead. One of them had that bum leg, and he didn't survive anyway. And we have that one healthy duckling. So really, out of 25 eggs, that's not a good hatch rate at all. It's much better if I do the artificial incubation, get a better hatch rate. Part of the trouble is the hen lays a bunch of eggs and then decides one day to sit on the eggs. So now she's sitting on the eggs, but she might lay another egg today, so she's also sitting on that egg. And then tomorrow she lays another egg, so she's sitting on that egg. Before you know it, she's got like 20 eggs that she's trying to sit on, and her body can't cover all the eggs. So this is a problem. You can see now that this hen has asked for assistance from another hen to help cover all the eggs. Now the mothers are supposed to be rotating the eggs, the mothers are supposed to be keeping the eggs warm, and the mothers are supposed to be keeping the eggs humid. And I think they do rotate the eggs, and they do keep them warm, but it's not 100%. It doesn't take much for an embryo to die. You know, all it needs is to be cooled for any length of time, and it's done. Fuzzy, what are you doing in the woods? Fuzzy? What are you doing in the woods? Get out of the woods. Maggie, is that you? Maggie! Maggie! Wake up, Maggie, I think I got something to say to you. Z, what are you doing in the forest, buddy? You see something? Oh, there's Chunky. Chunky! What are you doing in the forest, buddy? You okay? Is it nice and cool in the forest? Chunky, what are you doing? I think it's too hot for any of the cats to go hunting today. They're all right here hanging around under the trees in the shade. Sticking to the forest area, you know? We got Maggie, we got Fozzie, we got Dexter, we got Chunky, all right here. I know it's a little off topic, it's not ducks, but I love these cats. Dexter! So I got these ducks inside the ducky bunkie that are sitting on those clutch of eggs. I think I'm going to leave those two hens there, try not to bother them too much, see what they can do. You know, it'd be almost useless to try to take those eggs now, and my incubator's somewhat full, so it doesn't make any sense. They can at least try to hatch some naturally. It's not going to be a very good hatch rate though. But I have come to the conclusion, guys, that Khaki Campbell duck hens really don't make great mothers. It is confirmed 100%. If anybody's thinking that it's a good idea, it's only eggs. You can try it out. It's not the end of the world, and it's all within genetics. Maybe there are some mothers that are better than other mothers, but if we intervene and artificially incubate the eggs, you will get a better hatch rate. Hey, you're not coming out to play? Molly, you're not coming out to play? Come on! But at least it's confirmed, for me anyways, this is the first time that we've ever tried to naturally hatch duck eggs. And I'm not disappointed or anything. I'm happy that I did it. I'm happy that I'm leaving those ducks to try to hatch even more of their own ducklings. But I'm also convinced that they're not great mothers, and they'll never have a great hatch rate, and they're just really wasting eggs. When you think about it, you're just wasting. They're trying to sit on the eggs. So, in case you were ever wondering that, now you know. I'm sure there's 1,000 other videos on YouTube about this anyways. But, I don't know, it's the first time I wanted to experience it for myself. And now I have, and now I'm convinced. It doesn't mean that I won't ever do it again, because sometimes you just don't have an incubator, and you need them to do it. Two Lugana ducks. Let's go, geese. Time to go to bed. Two Lugana geese. Two Lugana. Good job, guys. Good job. It's always a fun time at the Hidden Spring Farm.